Okay, so welcome back. It's been a couple of days since I redid the fork seals, and as you can see, I've got them back on the bike. They're not sitting under any load, obviously, because the bike is still on its stand, but you want to check after a couple of days if these have been filled that you've got no seepage around the dust caps, no obvious liquid down here. No suspension oil, fork oil. So I think I'm going to be good, but until we ride the bike under load and in the dirt, we won't really know. We'll have to just keep checking. So now that the fork seals are done, you want to take this opportunity just to clean up the fork lugs at the bottom, give them a thorough clean, the covers, get in under here, under the front fender. Anywhere where it's really difficult to clean when the tire and wheel is on, now's your chance to give it a really thorough clean where it's a little more access. Same thing with my front wheel and rim. I've given that a thorough soaping, cleaning, tightened up all the spokes. Really important, just go around each one, use a spoke tightener and tighten, make sure that there's nothing loose, it's nice and taut. Check your air pressure. Check your wheel bearings, give that a good clean, give it a good lube, blow any water out. You don't want water sitting on here, it's just going to rust, so give it a light coating of WD-40. And then you're ready to put the front wheel back on, which is super easy, 2 bolts and the wheel axle, and then we can reattach the brake and go through the brakes. So that's next. So one of the things I was worried about when I bought this bike, there was no front brake. The brake caliper was completely removed, and that's due to the fact he had an accident, hit something down here and bent the bracket that holds the brake caliper, and it was pinching the brake disc and everything was buggered up. So I was worried that the rotor here was bent. It isn't, fortunately. The way you check it is get yourself a straight edged metal rule and lay it on top of your caliper as you rotate the wheel, and while you're looking, speed magnets are holding it there. The Speedo has got a magnetic sensor, so hold it here and then turn your wheel, and if there are any gaps between the sides of the metal rule and your rotor, you'll know that it's out of round and it's bent and you need to replace it. So I went all the way around and checked this rotor, and it is absolutely straight as an arrow. So I think I'm going to be safe to put the caliper back on. Once I've straightened out the bracket, I'm going to heat that up with MAP gas, a propane torch, and hammer it flat, do a little bit of metal work on it, straighten it, clean up the holes, and make it look decent, and then put it back on the lug bolts here, and make sure that the front wheel turns smoothly in the caliper with the discs on. So that's next. Alright, so here's my oil drain cap that's been repaired with a coat of JB Weld, thick JB Weld all over the top, and a new O-ring on it. So I don't know if I can get in close enough. You can see the crack at about the 3 o'clock mark, which is filled and cleaned up with JB Weld. I think this thing would do absolutely fine. I ordered a brand new one, which literally in 3 days showed up on my doorstep for $10. So I've got a brand new one here, and I'm going to use the new one rather than the old one. I'll just keep this as an emergency spare in case this cracks. So if you need one of these, here's the part number. SSR Motorsports oil filter screen cap with the part number, and that comes with a O-ring as well, a 35 by 3, and there's the part number for that. So yeah, this was $10 for replacement, and I'm going to use the replacement for my oil change and fresh oil rather than the old one. Not that I'm concerned that this won't hold. I think it will hold, and I'm happy with the repair. It just looks a bit funky. Keep it, toss it, whatever. It goes in the box with all my other motorcycle spare parts. But new is always better. I just was told it was a 2 or 3 week waiting list to get these because parts were on back order for these Kayo bikes. But they obviously had it on the shelf and sent it first class mail to me. So that was awesome. Thank you to Why Go Stock Racing that carries a lot of parts for these bikes. So if you need bits and bobs for your bike, your Kayo, try whygostockracing.com. No affiliation with them, not being sponsored by them, just it was the only place that had parts for this bike. So anyway, put that on and fill up with oil. So we've got the new cap on the oil drain, and now it's time to put 1,000 mil into my crankcase. So this is 1,000 mil, 4 cups or 32 ounces of 10 W40 weight, 1 litre, 1,000 mil. There we go. So let's get this in and then we'll check the level. So this is Motul oil, M-O-T-U-L. It's a synthetic oil, 7100 brand. You could run 1540, you could run 540. Owner's manual says 1040 Rotella, but you know, 1040 4-stroke motorcycle oil. This engine's not going to know the difference. And engine oil gets changed every 10, 15, 20 hours of use, depending on how hard you ride. So the oil doesn't really have time to break down. If you're running in a very cold climate, you might want to run a thinner weight oil. Easier to start up. Let the manufacturer dictate what works, which is 1040. So if it says 1040, use 1040. Alright. Let that settle and then we'll check the level. Alright, so here's the dipstick, and at the bottom it's got a little hashtag. You want it somewhere in the middle, doesn't want to be up in this part past here, just under this line basically. So drop your dipstick in, thread it all the way down, and unthread it all the way up and inspect. And there you go. It's right at the 80% mark, which is absolutely perfect. Not too high, not too low, 1,000 mil. Now in the owner's manual service guide, it says the engine capacity has 1,500 mil capacity, but then it says to only use 1,000 mil after you've drained the oil. So I don't know if there's 500 mil at the bottom of the sump somewhere, in the crank, in the clutch area, I don't know. I've drained it fully and I've now filled it up fully and only used a litre of oil, 1,000 mil. So I'm guessing it's a typo in the... I can't believe there's another 500 mil of oil, old oil, sitting around inside this engine. But now she's got fresh oil. So we're going to go around the other side and check the cap on the drain cap, because that's brand new. We want to make sure there is nothing leaking after we put the new cap in. So there's the new cap. Stick your finger underneath it and see if there is anything wet. Nope, dry as a bone. So that's sealed well. You don't need to torque that down very much. I'm not even sure what the torque settings are, but tighten it up and then just give it a little not even a quarter turn, to get that nice and tight. I did not have to take off my gear shifter. I was able to get in with, here you go, my ratchet went up between here and here just fine with a stubby socket, and I was able to undo this and tighten it up without having... I saw a couple of videos where guys were actually taking off the shifter, but it's just an Allen bolt underneath here to pull the gear shifter off its spline, but no need. You've got plenty of space here for a short stubby socket and your ratchet. As long as the bike's up on a stand, it should be no problem. It saves you 15 minutes messing around taking off the your shifter lever. Alright, so we've got fresh oil, so let's start her up and get the oil flowing. Give it a little bit of throttle. Trying to throttle the bike, hold the camera and start it at the same time. There you go. A little bit of choke right now, so it's idling a little high, about 2,000 RPMs. No leaks from the fuel lines. Good, good.